Hello, and welcome to another video here with Flight Noob. Now it is very early in the morning where I am. I am feeling a little loopy right now, but I'm gonna go in and get this flight completed here. Today we are at Istanbul airport, the relatively new one, not Ataturk. We are at Istanbul airport, LTFM, and we're going to be heading on over to Dubai, as you probably guessed, by the Emirates livery. We're flying the PMDG 777-300ER on today's flight. It's going to be the flight itself is about 3 hours and 43 minutes long. So yeah, 3 hours 43 minutes of block time. The flight itself being 3 hours 43 minutes of flying time estimated on today's flight. So this is only my second ever actual flight with the 777, right after the New Zealand one, which I already posted. So let's have a look at just a quick look around our aircraft today. Beautiful livery, absolutely wonderful livery, the Emirates one. And we've got a very nice handcrafted airport. It's actually a payware that I got from flightsim.to. So let's have a look at our airport in a bit of detail before we jump into our aircraft here. As you can see, it is very, very well modeled. This is a very well modeled airport here. Look at the detail on that. That is very, very well done. I like this. It was worth the money, in my opinion, to purchase this. It's available on flightsim.to. A very good airport here. Now, I don't have any GSX profiles for this installed, so it doesn't have any glass jetways at the moment, but it is brilliant. You are able to see some static passengers and stuff. We've got plenty of traffic here. Mostly Turkish Airlines. I'm afraid we've parked at the wrong terminal, haven't we? We really might have parked at the wrong terminal here. Nonetheless, although I do see some other airline here, I think we might have parked at the wrong terminal. Well, we're going to ignore that. Yeah, we should have probably been over there, but you know, nonetheless. Let's see, if we come down inside the airport here, we can see some static passengers modeled, which isn't the best. There isn't too many details on the inside, so it's definitely not as good as some of the other scenery available for the other airports, like by Inibills and Orbex and stuff like that, but it is not too bad, and it definitely does the job. Okay? Now, this airport is not there by default in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You're going to have to install some sort of scenery for it to show up. At least in mine, that was the case. But anyway, beautiful little airport. It does also have a DHL area right there. There's a little DHL terminal or an office building of some sort right there. It does have Turkish Airlines up there as well. So it is a very good airport all in all, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, enough about the airport. Let's go into our aircraft here, and we have a A350 taxiing. And he's definitely gonna nick us at this rate. Is he gonna nick us? He's probably gonna nick us. Okay, whatever. Very, very lovely is my point. Anyway, let's look at our aircraft here for the day. Let's jump into it. It's in cold and dark mode at the moment. We are sitting cold and dark on the tarmac by the gate. Parked in by the gate, but not for long. Let's hop on inside and get ourselves started up for today's absolutely wonderful flight. All right. Here we are in the cockpit. And there we go. We've got GPU connected, as you guys can tell. Can you tell that the GPU is connected? Let's actually go ahead and see that. Yeah, ground power is connected. Ground power is definitely connected, and we can see that right there. It is here. Brilliant. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our batteries. Let's turn on the ground power here. IFE, in-flight entertainment, the cabin seats, utility, etc., etc. We'll turn that on. ADI-RU can come on. We could leave the window heats on right now if we wanted to. Nav lights are on. Emergency lights are armed. Our signs can be left at automatic. Yep. Everything else here we do not need to touch for the moment. So yeah, pretty much that's it. We're not going to start the APU just yet. Let me just leave the window heats on right away. Okay. Now it's going to take a while for all the screens to flash to life here. Let's go to our tablet. That's the ground maintenance, is it? Oh, what is that? We've already got some issues with our tires. Ah, that's fascinating. We gotta cool those brakes. We gotta replace those brakes. Gotta replace our tires as well. Right, we need to do that. Okay, brilliant. I feel like I might have rushed it, but I don't understand why this is like this. That's interesting. We need to do some maintenance on that. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let's cool that brake again. Let that happen. Let's replace those brakes. I guess I've been flying it around for a while. Does the damage carry on? Because I did have, although it's my second flight, just to check our approach into Dubai, I did try a different runway from the one that we're landing into. Is that why we're having all this stuff? Let me see. Replace tires too. Come on, what on earth is going on with this thing? I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to refill that. I'm gonna get this entire thing all set up here. Okay, anyway, just noticed that completely by accident. Okay, request data from SimBrief. Let's have today's flight plan here. LTFM to OMDB, cost index of 200, and there is our flight plan for the day. Very, very nice. Nice and straightforward. All over. We're flying. Mostly over Turkey, I believe. And over Saudi. We need to fly over Saudi, right? I believe so. Are we flying over Saudi today? I don't know. No, we're not. We're not flying down here like this. We're going this way. So there's no Saudi involved, but we have a bunch of other countries, mostly Turkey, as I said, and then we've got Iran, and then straight into United Arab Emirates. Cyprus is somewhere there. Where's Cyprus? Cyprus is there. Okay, never mind. Great. Let's go to our FMC here, see if everything is... Oh, there we go. We've got the screens all come to life. Let's go down here to our FMC. Clear all of that. Let's come to our initial position, which is we're going to take the one from the GPS here. Go back to the previous page. There we go. We got that. As you can see, all lined up. Very nice. Reference airport, LTFM. Let's set that. We do not need to set a gate today. Route origin is LTFM. Destination is OMDB. Let's request a route from SimBrief now. We can set the payload, set the fuel, and we can select the route. Route is being requested. Brilliant. Let the route get requested here. Request has been sent. We'll wait for the load option to become available here, and then we'll load in the route and activate it. Just gonna wait for that for a second. Oh, there it is. We can load it. Route 1 uplink loading, so we'll wait for that. Shall wait for that. Okay, still waiting here. And we can activate it right there. And let's execute that. We're gonna clear everything else that it's telling us. Very good. Takeoff runway for the day is supposed to be 17 right out of Istanbul. So let's Let's put that in here. Very nice. Let's go to our performance initialization. We've got all this data available. First, let's set in our zero fuel weight. That also takes care of that weight right there, our gross weight. We've got this cruising altitude and cost index already in. We need to accept or reject it, and we're going to accept this data here. Thrust limit, we're not going to use any derating of thrust. Flaps, 15 for takeoff today. Center of gravity can be taken in from the scratch pad as such. Our reference speeds, no. Before we do our reference speeds here, we need to come and set our legs, our departure first. Okay, so for departing, I forgot about that, my bad. Departing out of Turkey, out of Istanbul, we've got ASMA 4G, and we're going to go out of 17R. Let's press execute that. Arrival into Dubai is going to be via Vute 3B now. Vute 3B, whatever you want to call it. Runway for landing today is ILS 12R. We're going to go ahead and set this up right from the start. I know we usually might not do this, but it's okay. Let's go towards our legs now, see what we have here. What do we have? Do we have any discontinuity? We do have one discontinuity here. That one. Can execute that. Now, let's check one more time. Do we have any discontinuity? We don't have any discontinuity. Okay. Okay, that means we're all good. Let's go towards our performance data again. Just to make sure that everything is set the way it's supposed to be. Yes, it is. Okay, we're good. We're pretty much good. Legs, we got everything we need. VNAV will be available this time, unlike my last flight. Now, just to confirm that our flight plan is not complete bonkers, let's go up here and check that. Let's step through our flight plan here. Okay, it is looking exactly what it's supposed to be like. Okay, brilliant. Now let's look at that. Continue towards Dubai. There's a lot of waypoints there. There is our approach into Dubai. A roller coaster approach. Basically an S-turn into the runway. Brilliant. Let's go back to map mode here. We can increase the range on this side so we can have a greater look there. That is brilliant. That is excellent. Bring that down to 10 nautical miles here. Okay. Very well. Let's set the local pressure at that. While we're doing this, we can actually go ahead and request boarding from GSX. So let me operate the jetway first. Have us, okay, there we go. We've got the jetway operating, and once the jetway is connected, we'll request our boarding here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and watch that happen, shall we? There it is. Let's see how well the jetway connects to our aircraft here. I have the GSX profile for 777 installed already. Okay, come on, we need to get out of here. All right. Perfect. Let me come to GSX here. Sim brief plan is okay. Very good. Let us request our boarding there. While that's happening, we've set our local pressure for the day. Takeoff pressure from Istanbul. LNAV. Flight directives on here. Let's see. LNAV available to us. VNAV available to us as well. Our TCAS, no pushback yet. Our TCAS actually is on already. Now, it isn't supposed to be on already. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it boots off. I mean, when we start the aircraft from cold and dark, it's already selected to TARA, and that doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to turn this off for now. We'll turn it on at the appropriate time. Brilliant. Our cruising altitude for the day, 37,000 feet, like we said it should be. Let's go ahead, 37,000 feet. Not too bad. Brilliant. 200 is fine. We can leave this as our climb out speed. It doesn't really matter because we got VNAV available too, so that is all right. Okay, excellent. Now, boarding is happening right now. Cargo loading is supposed to happen right now. I don't see anybody doing anything. That is interesting. The cargo pellets are arriving. Great. Okay. So the cargo pellets are arriving and cargo loading should begin momentarily. Passenger loading is going on. Oh, look at that. Because I don't have the GSX profile for this airport installed, look. We can see the feet of the passengers walking into that aircraft. Well, kind of sucks. Can we see the passengers from the terminal? Because in some airports you can. I'm wondering if we can see the same. There's a way to check. We can just go into drone camera here. We can have a look. I know inside here we can see it. Okay, we can't. Because passengers are kind of spawning in from nowhere there. Okay. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Okay. While that is happening, we can go ahead and turn on our APU if we really wanted to. Let's see how far along in the GSX loading process we are. 3. Okay, great. That is not good. Okay. I'm gonna wait here for a little bit longer for the for the passenger boarding process to carry on here, and for the cargo loading to get at least underway somewhat. And once that is underway, we're gonna go ahead and turn on our APU, and we'll get ourselves ready for pushback and getting on out of here. All right. Okay, our our cargo loading is about complete here, as you can tell. Just waiting on passengers to finish boarding, and then we can go in. We don't need to wait for them to finish, really, actually, as a matter of fact. Let's go ahead and check our boarding status. We're only carrying 148 passengers today. For some reason, SimBrief, in its wisdom, has decided to give us only 148. So we still got a few more passengers to board, nonetheless. Okay, we'll wait a little bit longer, and then we need to get that APU started up, and we'll prepare for pushback. All right, I think we're ready, just about to get our APU started up here. So let's go on and start that up right away. Okay, brilliant. So we're gonna wait for the APU to start up, then we're gonna come here and release our ground power and stuff like that, right? I still don't understand why these two are different colors, man. God dang it, PMDG, what is going on? Anyway, so what I'm gonna do here is, after we finish starting up the APU, we can release the ground power and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and have a look at our APU. There we go. We can see those exhaust gases right there. What a beautiful looking aircraft that is. Look at the level of detail on this thing. Cargo doors are just about closing right now. That's okay. Look at how lovely this thing is. Damn. That is a good looking thing right there. Very, very nice. Well modeled indeed. Anyway. Heading on inside here. I suspect that the APU should be running. There we go, APU running. And once APU is running, we can remove our external power and release that, please. And we can remove the chocks if our parking brake is on. As I suspected, it's off. Let's remove those chocks. Okay. Now we're pretty much ready for pushback. So let's go ahead and request that from GSX here. If it will let me open the menu. Prepare for pushback and departure. Thank you very much. Now, which way are we supposed to turn for today's pushback? Good question. We need to turn with our nose to the right. All right. So we got to turn with our nose to the right this way, and then we taxi. Okay. Jetway is being disconnected. There we go. Brilliant. Got our marshallers out here. Very nice. Jetway disconnected, marshallers out here, and we got our guy waving to us. Pushback about to get connected. Very, very good. Okay, what do we need to do here? We need to go ahead and, okay, Can wait a little bit to do all of this. Let's just watch our pushback get connected. We'll wait a little bit, I suppose. You know what? We don't need to wait that long. Let's get in here. Turn that on right there. Automatic. We need to turn the fuel pumps on here. So yeah. Let us do that and then wait for this. We'll wait. You know what? I'm going to turn these off for the time being. Okay, got that connected. Nose to, where did we say again? Nose to the right is what we need for today's pushback. That is what we said. Does this display thing actually work? It's a good question. Let's have a look. Does it work? Does that display thing actually work? No, it doesn't. We need that. I think once we install the GSX profile, it should have worked. I didn't notice whether it was working on this whole time. Nose to the right. Thank you very much. Let's go inside here and release that parking brake. Just like that. Okay. We can... Okay, we've begun our pushback. We can turn on beacon lights. Put those two in. We can start up our engines. Okay. To do that, we'll come here. Push this knob to start right there. APU bleed is already on here automatically. So we'll watch N2 rising here. Once it reaches around 20-25, I presume we can flick open our fuel control switch. Okay, right about there. Engine starting up, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. Very nice. Let's turn that a bit to the side there. What a beautiful view that is. Lovely. Gorgeous view. Anyway, engine still starting up pretty much. Okay, in about 20 something minutes, about 22 minutes, we have started up our first engine. That's not too bad. Let's go ahead and start the left engine here, I believe. Oh my god, I always do this. The left engine's already started. The right engine. So we'll wait for N2 to rise here. Okay. Our pushback is about to be finished. Let's go ahead and flick that open. Let's get outside there. Lovely. Right hand engine getting started up. Okay, I believe our pushback has been completed and we need to set our parking brakes. So let's do that. Nose is being lowered. Very good. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Our engine started up, ladies and gentlemen. Engine started up. Okay, beacon light is on. We can turn on our taxi light as soon as the pushback goes away. We don't want to blind the guy working over here. So we'll wait for him to go away and then we'll turn on our taxi light. Otherwise, we're going to temporarily blind this dude. Okay, we'll wait for our little friend there to wave to us. Let us know that everything is alright. Let us know that we are good to go. Okay, let's drop our flaps in the meantime. Okay, let's just wait for him to wave first and then we shall do the necessary. Come on, young man. Wave to us. Turkish Airlines A350. Come on. Bye-bye. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go ahead and drop our flaps. We'll check our flaps dropping from the passenger's point of view from the cabin. How about that? That would be nice, right? So let's check that out. Okay, our flaps should begin dropping. Why isn't it dropping? What? Yeah, flaps are traveling now. Flaps are traveling. There we go. Flaps traveling. Very good. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Let's see. What is our other passenger on the other side seeing? Wow. The A3. No, that's another 777. It's a Turkish Airlines 777. Very nice. And another Airbus here. I suspect an A330. Very good. Okay. Heading back in here, we need to turn on our taxi lights, and we're pretty much ready to taxi out of here. Yes, sir. We are ready to taxi on out of here and get ourselves to our runway 17 right. Right, runway 17 right is where we need to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and taxi ourselves. Parking brake. Okay, release, please. Okay, there we go. Parking brakes have been released. We are rolling very, very slightly here. Not by much. Let's crack open the throttles just a little bit, and that will give us enough to get moving. Okay. There we go. Now we're moving. Let us have a look at that. Lovely. The cabin views on this aircraft are absolutely gorgeous. Oh, we are running away there a little bit. Pump on those brakes a little bit, slightly, because we are running away a little bit right there. Very nice. Okay. Let's head on into the cockpit here to make sure we stay on top of our taxi. Just gonna go outside for a second. Okay. We shall turn right here. Slow our aircraft down a little bit because I have to. Okay, we can begin turning to the right. Okay, so now the taxi is pretty long here to the end of runway 17R. So I'm not gonna bore you with the entire taxi. I shall pick this up when we are holding short of the runway. So I'll see you then. Okay, we've made it to the end here, and we're coming upon our holding point. We're right behind a Turkish Airlines aircraft. We're going to hold short right here. Brilliant. Okay. Now, whilst that aircraft takes off, let's turn on our landing lights here. Let's turn on the runway turn off. I'm just going to leave the taxi lights off for now. I'm going to turn on our TCAS here all the way. Okay. Let's see, has that aircraft taken off? Ah, it's gone on its way. What else? Strobe lights to on here. Oh, sorry, strobe lights, are they on now? Wait, they're off. Okay, let's turn on our strobe lights. Taxi lights off. Brilliant. Okay, that's pretty much it for us, and let's turn on our signs here. There we go. Let's go ahead and get on out of here. We're pretty much ready for takeoff here, except for this auto brake and RTO. Brilliant. Our APU is still running, by the way. We should have turned this off. We should have turned that off a while ago. Another mistake, but anyway, it's not really a mistake per se. We're all right. Okay, let us go ahead and release our parking brake if we can. There we go. Let's turn that aircraft. Let's turn that aircraft. Brilliant. Brilliant. Very, very nice. There we go. The rudder is so sensitive. It's a little too sensitive for my liking. Go ahead and turn ourselves in. Line ourselves up with the runway. There we go. Perfect. Now I believe we've done everything for takeoff. I don't even have a checklist with me. Crack open the engine. All right, we're good. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have begun our takeoff roll. Okay.
V1. Rotate.
Rotating.
Positive.
Very, very nice. Ooh, again, that steep climb, which I really don't like.
Traffic. Traffic.
Okay. There we go. Flaps up. Very nice. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Istanbul Airport. On our way. There we go. Looking good. Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn on our autopilot. There we go. Climbed out a little too steeply as usual. I need to take control of our takeoff, but this was a much better takeoff than my last one, so improvement already. Very nice with the 777. What a beautiful view as we leave Turkey here. Now this is something we will not get. The textures would not be this crisp in 2024. So I'm really falling back in love with 2020 at this point because of this aircraft. Very nice. Let's have a look. What is the passenger seeing as we make our turn? Oh, there's an aircraft below us. Very nice. Absolutely nice. Brilliant. Gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. Look at us. We are already way up there. Our takeoff was a little steep, but we're just fine. We are just fine. Look at us. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Okay. Back in here. Let's see what is happening in the cockpit here. We're already around 9,000 feet, around 10,000 feet. So we need to go ahead and turn off our landing lights here. We'll turn off runway turn off lights. Taxi lights already off. That's great. Anything else we need to do up here? We can turn the signs to automatic. And there we go. We can increase the range on that. Can increase the range on that too. I don't like that one. Yeah, that's much better. There we go. Everything is looking in order. Auto brake is off. Speed brake is down. Flaps are up. Everything is looking just fine. We just need to change our barometric pressure to standard once we cross our transition altitude. Beyond that, we are well on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go outside for a bit. Have a look around. Look at that. Look at that. That airport is still looking gorgeous even from this distance. Look at that. It is still looking good even from this distance. Very nice. Beautiful Emirates livery here. And on our way we go towards Dubai. Beautiful landscape all around us. Lovely day to be flying. And that, I believe, is the older airport of Ataturk, if I'm not completely mistaken. Because we've got Istanbul airport there. And I believe we've got Ataturk. Wait, is this airport this massive? It is very large. Okay. And we've got Ataturk over here. If I'm not completely mistaken, that should be Ataturk. If I'm not mistaken, that is. Okay. Not too far away, those two airports. Here we go. Let's change our barometric pressure to standard there. And everything is just looking crispy fine. Alright, already getting much better with the 777, and this is just my second flight. Very good. Although I still can't figure out certain things, we're alright. We're alright. Let's lock that position right there. Let's zoom in here. Can we make this full? Yes, we can. There we go. It's a little display for us that we can use to keep a track of our progress. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to continue on our climb towards 37,000 feet. There isn't much else to do in the cockpit. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the views as we cruise towards Dubai. And I shall jump back in the cockpit whenever is required, and I shall keep you guys updated. Apart from the little updates, I shall join back into the cockpit at top of descent, or near top of descent. So let's go ahead and enjoy some views along the cruise. What a beautiful scene right there. We are about 30 to 40% done. 30 to 40% done with our route. And yeah, still a long way to go here to Dubai, but look at that beautiful scene right there. Looking absolutely lovely. Yeah, just a little update on how far along we are. Alright, up ahead of us is that final stretch of water that we need to cross before we can land into Dubai. This is us crossing from Iran over onto the water and into Dubai. Okay, so that is where we are at this point, the final stretch of water. Brilliant. So we're just about flying over Iran now, I believe. Yeah, it should be Iran that we're flying over right now. Yep, Iran. And yep, across in the distance, if you can see a little bit of that dusting of that cream color, that is where we're trying to go, to United Arab Emirates. All right, brilliant. Okay, I shall catch you guys now on top of descent pretty much. I don't think there'll be any other updates along the way now. Okay. Brilliant. Welcome back into the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. We're coming up on our top of descent here, and we've got the message to reset our altitude here. What are we supposed to descend to now? Actually, I have no idea. 37,000 feet, 37,000 feet. My lips are no longer functioning. I am so exhausted at this point. Okay, had a long day. Need to retire after this landing. Let's see. 37,000 feet, 8 nautical miles, 294. Okay, our top of descent is right after a Lira. So let's set 29,500 here. 29,500, I believe, is the altitude. Wait, hold on. How do I just do that? 29,500? 29,600. Okay, 29,600. Perfect. So we've set that altitude. And let's see how things go here. Okay, we've begun our descent there. Perfect. And I'm just gonna say hold the altitude for now, and then I'm gonna go back to VNAV. Okay, let the aircraft do its own thing here. Let the aircraft do its own thing. Very, very nice. Okay, we've now begun descending down towards Orsar at 29,600. Okay. We should turn on our seatbelt signs and stuff, shouldn't we? Okay. Let's have a look from outside here. Looking good. Oh, we can see the moon today. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Very, very nice. Very tranquil scene right there outside that window. And there behind us is Iran, I believe. We're looking at somewhere near Bandar Abbas in Iran there. At least that's what we're seeing off in the corner there, somewhere near there. Okay, looking good. Let's go on in here, see what our we've begun a very, very steep descent now. But I'm not too worried about it. Let's head on outside there. Oh, we're nose diving now. Look at that rate of descent. That is crazy. Nonetheless, we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking good. There up ahead of us is UAE, the coastline of UAE. I believe we can see some of the islands off of the coast of Dubai, perhaps. Very nice. The sea always looks so calm and so beautiful anytime I fly over here. We have the moon there as well today. Very, very lovely scene right there. Look at that. Let's absorb that for a moment. That is a good looking scene right there. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Let's head on inside, see what our aircraft is doing. Now we need to descend down towards 28,000. Oh, we're supposed to be down at 28,000. Okay. I'm just gonna go directly down to 22,000 here. Make our life a little bit easy. 22,000, please. Thank you. Yeah, let's go directly down to 22,000 now. Let's see how it goes. Okay, anyway. So, I'm now going to continue this descent in the steps as recommended here. So, I'm going to continue inputting the altitude here. I shall join you back again when we are near 10,000 feet. And yeah, then we'll go on and turn on our landing lights and change the barometric pressure and all that good stuff. So I'll join you near 10,000 feet now in the cockpit. Okay, we are coming up on somewhere near 10,000 feet now. So I had to use my speed brake here to descend us a little quicker, and there we have that same issue again. Okay, there we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. The speed brake is working well. Okay, so we need to head down towards around 9,000 feet now. Somewhat below 10,000. I decided to go for somewhere near 9. Yeah, somewhere near 9. 230 knots speed. Okay, and we are descending. Unfortunately, a little too slow without the speed brake. So I'm going to have to pop that back open. Let's do that. Let us do that. Okay, so that we can descend down to 10,000 a little quicker. Okay, I'm just going to allow this descent to continue for a little bit longer. Once we dip below 10,000, I'll join back in the cockpit at this point. It's going to take us a while. We've got a long, wavy approach into Dubai, so it's going to take us a while. Let me just join you after I dip under 10,000. As a matter of fact, since 10,000 feet is so close, I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights here, and I shall see you when we are on this leg. I think that's when I'll check in once we're into this leg. So for now, I'm just continuing this descent. And when I'm somewhere under 7,000 feet, that's a better idea. Under 7,000 feet, we'll check in and see how we're doing in our approach procedure. Okay. Makes sense here. Makes sense. Okay, we have dipped below 7,000 here, on our way towards 6, and we can see in the distance the buildings of Dubai are right there, very far away. It's very hazy, but in the distance we can see Dubai right there. The airport should be somewhere here, but we can't see it just yet. That ahead of us is, I believe, Sharjah Airport. I believe that is Sharjah Airport that ahead of us. Might be. But that is Dubai. Burj Khalifa right there. Very, very lovely. Heading down towards 6,000 feet. Let's actually begin that towards 5,700 now. Okay. Do that to its 5,700 feet. Let's turn on VNAV back here because I had to change to flight level change because it wasn't descending quickly enough, so I had to deploy my speed brake and stuff. But for now, we can go back to VNAV. We're looking all right. We're looking all right. Drag required. Is that what it said? We need drag. I don't think so. I'm just gonna clear that message for the time being. I'm just going to clear that message for the time being. I think we can each okay, never mind. Never mind. Oh, very, very lovely. Let's have a look at that. Let us have a look at that. There we go. Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're still turning on this view, but we should be able to see Dubai. On this side, we're just seeing the ocean at the moment. It's not too bad. Still struggling here. Holding 6,000 somewhat. We are dropping our speed. Okay, FMC was right. I did not see the speed. We do need some drag, but let's give it a bit of drag, shall we? There we go. Here we are, right outside. Perfect. Look at that. Brilliant. Okay. Let's bring that back down here. What are we doing now? Okay. So we just need to continue descending, and soon we'll be on our last turn towards Dubai to line up with the runway. Now what is going on? What is this thing doing now? How did LNAV get disengaged? Wait, LNAV is not working now. What on earth is going on again? Wait, it's that same thing. We had that same issue. It's doing that rotation again. I don't get it when it does this. Okay, I'm just gonna go into heading selection mode here, and I'm gonna ask the aircraft to turn around manually. Okay, because I don't know what it's doing anymore. I'm gonna ask for heading mode here because for some reason LNAV isn't working now. Okay, it worked then. First, let's get us in line first, and then we'll see. I don't know what is happening now. Okay, we had that same issue when I was flying into Sydney. I don't understand why this issue keeps happening with me. I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm pretty sure the way I'm handling the altitudes with the FMC isn't close enough or something like that. Something I'm doing is wrong here. Anyway, let me turn our aircraft around here. Back towards, you know what? Let's go down towards Sogap. Flight level change, please. Let's go down towards Sogap directly. Yep, let's do that. Let's do that. Let us do that. VNAV, turn on. Let's go ahead and do that. LNAV, please. Okay. Now let's try if this fixes the issue. Not entirely sure if it will, but let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, it seems to have fixed the issue. We're supposed to be down at 4,700. I'm gonna go directly down to 4.5. Let me go directly down to 4.5. 238. Okay, we seem to be doing okay. I don't see what the problem is. Let me drop the flaps. Let's drop the flaps to position 1. Don't see what the issue is. I really don't. Okay, we are looking good here. We are looking good. Let's see how this goes. I still have a little bit to learn about the behavior of this aircraft, as you guys can probably tell. Well, it's only our second flight, so not an issue. I don't think I followed the FMC closely enough, so I think it just literally gave it back to me. By the way, I also have the AP behavior on realistic.
Traffic.
So that is one thing. Okay, I'm tired of the advisories, so I'm gonna switch them off. I'm gonna leave them on TA only because I don't want the resolution advisory. Is that what it's called? I don't know what RA is for. Okay, 4,700. We are still unable to do this. Pretty much. 4,500. Let me try 4,200. Come on, 4,500 for now. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Okay, great. At least we have everything working now. I still need to learn why on earth the FMC or the computer decides to give certain things randomly back to me. Why it decided that I can no longer access LNAV. Why it decided to do that little turn over there. Is it because of the altitude? I'm guessing it's because of the altitude, because I wasn't at the right altitude, most likely, but I'm not sure. I am not sure. Obviously, the 777 that I used to fly in flight gear was not this realistic, but I remember having some sort of issue like this when I used to try and fly the 777. Anyway, let's see. What are we seeing on this side? Okay. Nothing much at the moment. Interesting. Nothing much at the moment too. Interesting. Okay, we're flying out over the ocean here, flying away at this point from Dubai before making the turn in, I believe. Yes, right before making the turn in. So it makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, what are we supposed to be at now? 4,000 feet. Let's go down to its 4,000 feet. Let's see. Okay, I'm just monitoring this to make sure that everything is working the way it should here. Right, we've got everything working for the moment, but I have no idea when things are gonna go haywire. Not used to this autopilot just yet. Okay, we've got plenty of traffic all around us. There it is. There it is. There it is. Wait, that's not that traffic. This is not this one. This one is coming towards us. That is this traffic right here. Yep. So we got plenty of traffic all around us. 4,000 feet coming up. 3,700 or rather 3,800. Let's put that in. Okay, now we got everything working the way it's supposed to. VNav seems to be working. LNav seems to be working. I think we're okay now. I really do think it's because I didn't stay on top of this. But anyway, let's take a quick peek into the cabin. Once again, we're seeing pristine blue waters, nothing else this side. So let's go back out here and continue our approach. Okay, that's it. We are pretty much on long final. That is the long final pretty much. What is next? 3,500 feet. That is what it wants next. Let's do that. We have to be above 3,000 here. 180. We got some slowing down to do there. We'll be all right. I believe we'll be all right. Looking very, very good. Looking good at the moment. Looking good. Flaps. Where are we on the flaps? 1. Okay, there isn't much we can do at the moment. Drop our flaps further once our speed drops a little bit more. We've got, where is our runway here? Where is our runway? Ah, our runway is somewhere there. Runway is somewhere there, I believe. You can actually take a look. Yes. Where is our runway? There, right? No, that's a holding point. What's going on here? Oh, there it is. Probably. I don't know. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out. I have no idea. At this point, I have no idea. 3,000 above, 3,500 has been reached. Let's just go down to 3,100. Because it said we have to be above 3,000, so why not? 3,100 here. We're looking good. There we go. Okay, that is what it's looking like. And straight in. Okay, we don't have much left here to our landing. Okay, it is very hazy, and that is why we can't see the airport. Oh my goodness, that is right there. Is that another Emirates aircraft? It is. Traveling incredibly slowly. Well, A380 there. Nonetheless, here we are. We can actually turn on approach mode, can't we? Glide slope is up here. Yes, it is. We can turn this to approach mode right here. We can do that. We can do that. Very, very nice.
Traffic. Traffic.
Okay. This traffic stuff is going to be very annoying. Thought I put it on only. It's still going to give me the traffic advisories. Okay, fine. We're on approach mode. LNav is no longer with us. That is good. Let's drop our flaps here. Let's have a look at the flaps dropping. Okay, there we go. Our flaps are coming down. I remember now, it always was a lot to do when a 777's landing, huh? Anyway, let's see how we go here. Flaps still dropping. Okay, great. Okay, we've caught the glide slope here. And we can go ahead and ask our flaps to drop further. Down to flaps 20. There we go. Let them flaps come out here. Let them flaps come out here. can begin recording on our sky dolly. I've done that already. Overhead looking good, down here looking good, everything is looking all right. Let us now go outside and drop our landing gear. Shall we do that? Yes, we should. There we go. Dropping our landing gear. I want to take manual control a little earlier this time, I hope. So we gotta rush through here. There we go. Landing gear closing up. Brilliant. Let's put our auto brakes up here. Speed brakes armed. Come on. There we go. Auto brake, speed brake done. Let's drop our flaps here. Let us drop our flaps and bring that speed down to 137 knots. Let's bring that down completely. Okay, all our lights are on. I'll turn that on in advance. I'll also turn our taxi lights on for today. And everything is looking good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are coming in for landing. 1,500. We can see just a quick look for the last time right there. Looking good, looking good. Looking good. Let's come back into the cockpit here and focus on our landing. Okay, 1,300. We are looking pretty good. There we go. Looking pretty good here. Okay, 1,100. Getting ready to disengage.
1,000.
Autopilot. There we go. Autopilot disengaged. My aircraft. There we go, my aircraft. I cannot see the runway, so we are drifting off slightly, but I think we're all right. I think we are all right. Okay, I can see the runway finally. 135 knots for me, please. Thank you. Brilliant. I'm not going to go by the glide slope because, as you know, MSFS 2020 glide slope is incredibly unreliable. So I'm not going to go with the glide slope. We might get a warning. That's okay. Ignore the glide slope. Okay. Okay, I have visuals now. There we go. Glide slope.
200.
Okay. Very good.
100.
Okay. $50. 30. 20. 10. Come on. Okay, there we go. Reverse. On. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Got a little bit of a floater there. Still learning how to land this thing. I haven't landed it in so long. Still learning, ladies and gentlemen. Reverse thrust off, auto brake off. There we go. Brilliant. There we go. Can come off the high speed exit here. Now, before I do the landing replay here, we're actually going to have to taxi in this time. So let me try and do that. I'll clean up our aircraft now as well. Hopefully we won't have any issues cleaning it up. Flaps going up. Flaps going up. There we go. Going to open up the throttle slightly. Come on. Open up the throttle slightly. There we go. Perfect. Gonna have to turn this around here. There we go. Very nice. Okay, that is not half bad. And I'm not gonna bother about the checklist being incomplete here. Let's stow away our speed brakes. Come on. Come on. Okay. Can turn off our landing lights. 1, 2, 3. Turn off those runway. Turn off. Strobe lights off. Taxi lights on. Great. We can also get the APU to start as well. Brilliant. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dubai International Airport. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Dubai International Airport. Very, very nice. Brilliant. Okay. Just gonna have to stay on top here. We've got plenty of parking available today, so thank goodness. And we will take a look at our landing replay. Not to worry, we will definitely take a look at our landing replay here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Turn off that. Oh, we can't turn it off right now. Okay. We are taxiing a little too quickly here, but we can find ourselves any parking we like and we can pretty much put ourselves in there. Okay. So let's go ahead and take this parking right here. How about that? How about that? Okay. Let's begin that turn right there. Brilliant. Brilliant. I hope this parking is big enough. It has to be. This is the I believe, the Emirates terminal. I think we've turned into the correct terminal. I'm not even sure, but it should be. It should be. Okay, I have no idea how that looks like, but let's turn on that parking brake. There we go. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We can actually let's move forward just a little bit, shall we? Let's move forward just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's just fix our parking just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Just a tiny little bit right there. I think that's enough. Yeah. I think the marking is a little messed up. Yeah, the marking is a little messed up. So I'm going to go a little forward right there and I'll park ourselves in right here. Okay. Brilliant. We'll put ourselves in right there. Okay, before we go any further, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay. So I'm going to get that set up with SkyDolly and let's take a look at how we landed here. Our first landing replay here. Let's see how we did. Second ever full flight with the PMDG 777-300ER for me. Preparing myself to fly this in 2024, looking forward to it. So I thought, you know what, let's see. Oh, let's see. Second ever landing. Second ever. Okay, that was fine. That was fine. But that was a little bit of a floater right there. Okay, our actual touchdown wasn't too bad though. But a little bit of a floater and we kind of hit the nose gear a little too hard as well. So we hit the nose gear too hard, a little bit of a floater, a little bit off to this side of the center line, I believe. But apart from that, I think that was great. I think that was great. Okay. Brilliant. Let's have a look at one more external replay and then we shall have a look at it from the cabin. Okay, let's take a look at this landing replay right here and I discovered why the brakes glow red. There we go. That wasn't a bad landing at all. Okay, I discovered why the brakes glow red. It is because of the wear and tear system modeled in. And you just need to go in and cool the brakes manually. Anyway, let's take a look at two more landing replays from the inside. Here we go. Landing replay from the inside. On the right hand of the cabin, right side of the cabin. Let's see how that went. Okay, so as I was saying, it is the wear and tear model. And we just need to press cool brakes from the tablet pretty much. Okay, that was not bad at all. That was not bad at all. Very nice. I like that. Very, very nice. Okay, let's have one last look at the replay from the other side of the cabin. And we can go ahead and shut down the aircraft that we've already parked in. Okie dokie. Here we go, final landing replay. That was a fun little flight. Let's see the final landing replay and then we'll go ahead and shut down our aircraft and deboard our passengers. And that would have successfully concluded my second ever flight with the PMDG 777-300ER. Not too bad at all. Still got a bit of learning to do with this aircraft, but I think it's coming back to me. Well, when I say coming back from flight gear. But anyway. There we go. Very, very nice. The wing flex is so good. It is so nice to watch. Anyway, let's now head on to where we left our aircraft in the parking by the gate. Let's go ahead and deboard our passengers. We had the APU running, so let's pick it up from right there. Okay, here we are at the gate where we left our aircraft, and once again this glowing red brake that we have here, that is because of the landing replays. It's not because that's how we actually landed, or it wasn't caused during our landing roll. It absolutely was not. This was because of the multiple landing replays that we have the brakes glowing this hot. But it's really nice that it's modeled in there. So every time we have a replay with the 777, I guess this is going to happen. But anyway, we can ignore that. You can just go to the tablet and cool the brakes manually. But for now, let's shut down our engines here. We've got APU running, so let's shut down our engines. Okay. There we go. Brilliant. Let us now open up GSX. Let's operate the jetway. And let's see if that is actually happening here. Yes, it is. Perfect. It is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening here. Okay, we have a problem here with having a good look at the aircraft because, you know, obviously we can't see it well enough. But yeah. I may have parked it a little too close, eh? I definitely have parked it a little too close, haven't I? Nonetheless, let's request deboarding here and request ground power. Yes, why not? We'll attach that as well. So there we go. We should have our cargo deloading services as well attaching any second. If we have the ground power attached, we can switch to ground power here and we can turn off our APU. Can turn off ADIRU, all our in-flight stuff. These can come off. Beacon lights, nav lights, well, we can turn on nav lights. Taxi lights off. Every other light should be off here. We can turn those off. We can turn each of those to off. Okay, perfect. Anything else? Window heats can come off. Emergency lights to disarmed there. Is there anything else we need to do up here? Let's see. That is off. That is off. That is off. Battery can actually be left off here. As soon as external power is off, you know, the whole thing will shut down. Not an issue. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. We don't have anything else to do here. Oh, we got these two to turn off as well. Okay. That means we're pretty much set. Unless I'm missing something, which I don't think I am. In either case, not too big of an issue. Let's come here to ground operations. There we go. Here is where you fix up your stuff. Anyway, not gonna worry about that here. Gonna come here. I'm going to say remove chocks. What? Do we have wheel chocks already attached? Yes, we do. Great. Great. We have requested deboarding. I don't know if GSX is actually deboarding us. Oh, come on. I've requested deboarding. Thought I requested it. Oh, it's just about pressed. Okay. So there you go. Our cargo loaders are coming in to unload our cargo. There it is. And our passengers are pretty sure are being deboarded here. Oh, we could have just stopped at one of these jetways with a glass jetway and would have actually been able to observe the passengers getting deboarded, but unfortunately I didn't really notice that while we were taxiing in. But if we stopped in one of these glass jetways, we would have been able to see them getting deboarded. But in this case, we can't see that, but that's okay. At least we are able to observe the cargo being deboarded. Okay, great. I will leave it here for this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. And thank you so much once again for watching. Why is this thing strobing? Hold on a second. We've left our strobe lights on. Anyway, they're off now. Great. This is why you follow a checklist. This is nonetheless. Anyway, I shall leave it here. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next video. Bye bye.